Okay, everybody, it's me, Barker 922. Okay, so this is going to be another review, another anime series review. I don't really have any. It's going to be very, very, very small that I'm doing here because I already did like not too long ago. Um, Windbreaker season 2. So there's going to be this review for this anime, and I'm going to try the last two is Apothecary Diaries season 2, and then I got to do Bye Bye Earth, which is a whole crazy bag of whatever. Anyway, moving on. How to Become Ordinary. Okay, so um, How to Become Ordinary season 2. I was a little in the beginning, the like first couple episodes. I was a little ticked off with what was going on and how it was going, what was going on with it. But then I saw when we got close towards the end of that. This was two arcs, which is kind of weird because season 1 wasn't really like that. Season 1 was more like towards the end there was one arc, and before that just like these mini individual episodes of what was going on. Now, season 2 is split off into two parts. I think I remember doing a first impressions, if you guys remember. That was for the arsenic. I say arsenic? Arsonist. The arson the arson arc, which basically had to deal with Kabuto and Osane going separate ways, boyfriend and girlfriend with new people, but then they kind of, towards the end of that arc, they split off from their respective partners. Now, they came to terms and they continued onward. Now, after that arc, we go into another one that actually goes back in time. Kind of strange. Well, it's weird. It's like there are two things happening in this arc, which has to do with this hit and run situation. We take place in 3 years ago with Kabuto is investigating his friend's hit and run. But then he gets hit and run when he's in high school. Now, this was weird to me, but I will say I do prefer. I do think that the second half of the season, to me at least, I don't know anybody else, was a lot better. Not that the first half was bad, but I just felt like the whole boyfriend and girlfriend thing, it was kind of muddying the waters. But still, the arson arc was pretty good. What it was trying to accomplish, what was going on, who was behind it. And I do find it kind of interesting how they did that arc because of who did the arsons. It was a shocker. I'm not gonna say who did it. It's kind of a surprise. And versus how the second half happened with this whole hit and run situation, it also felt like, okay, this was a surprise. But it wasn't really a surprise because I kind of saw it coming with what was building on it. Now, I will say that the second half, I found it to have a more action packed climax than the first one. Because the arson thing just kind of just settles. There isn't really, we don't see the action in it. We don't see a confrontation. We don't really see anything happening. It just sort of, Kabuto meets Osane, they talk, and we get a resolution. We know who did it. But there was no, you but the second half, whew, there was an actual confrontation. It was getting really, really dicey at a point, which I want to spoil, but it gets really crazy. logistically, I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. Because I thought the second half was really good. I liked the first half, but compared to the second half, it's like, apples to oranges. And I felt that the second half was just a little bit better than the first half. But still, good second season. I do prefer this season over the first one. Because Kabuto and Osane, it's not a break off like it was at the end of season 1. So it really, and you got to see some backstory of Kabuto, how he met Osane, and their relationship going forward, and so on and so forth. So that's something else that was brought into the forefront of this second season. So if you guys get a chance, check out second season. The first couple episodes are a little janky because of the whole girlfriend-boyfriend thing. But I found that once you get past that, and you get into the meat and potatoes of the whole arson thing, and you go from there to the next arc, you're not going to be disappointed. And it's going to be a very good ride, really good intrigue, as they go and they put everything together during this whole situation. But, and like I said, I would definitely say this was better than season 1. The ending was better. What was being shown was better. Characters were better. I found it a lot better than season 1. But that's just me. Mal's got an 8 out of 10. I gave it an 8.5. A little extra because I thought, like I said, second half was a lot better. It was really like, wow, this was an ultimate confrontational climax happening here. And it really, really, really pulled it through. But that's all I really got for you guys. This is Bankai 922. I have news about the summer. Dan. Well, Dan, Kaiju number 8, and something else. I might do another video before the summer starts rolling in. Maybe towards the end of this week. Maybe. I got time. Maybe Friday. Maybe the weekend. Who knows? Next weekend. A brief video. Chances are I am going to do 3 episode reviews. The third one is not going to be Sakamoto because Sakamoto airs on Tuesdays. So it's rather going to be 2, which I do believe the one I'm doing will probably be a shonen. Look forward to it. This is Bankai 922. I'll see you guys later. We're done with this. It's good to actually see them together, and it was like a good ending. I'll see you guys later.